right, man. So let's get straight into it, man. Stephen A's bitch is talking about what happened with Max on ESPN First Take. Let's get straight to it.
I'm here.
The internet says that you wanted Max Kellerman off the program. I saw him say goodbye the other day. You called in. You had a sleep apnea surgery, which I want to get into a little bit just to learn a little bit about you a little bit more. But it didn't seem like you and Max had a bad relationship at all. So where do those rumors come from? And what's the truth with the departure of Max Kellerman from First Take?
Well, the rumor's accurate in terms of me wanting him off the show. Let's get that out the way.
Damn. Wow, I didn't know that they had beef like that. Well, hey, one thing I respect, I guess, he told the truth. Wow. He just admitted that he wanted him off the show. Wow, this is interesting. Damn.
From First Take.
Well, the rumor's accurate in terms of me wanting him off the show. Let's get that out the way. Yes, I did.
Damn.
We don't have a bad relationship. I think he's a real good guy. I appreciate what he did for the show. We were number one for 5 years. We stayed number one, and I appreciate that. But what a lot of people don't realize is that the work that goes into doing the show every single day. And the reality is that we have 15 segments a day, 75 segments a week, over 3,000 takes a year. In the 9 years that I've been on First Take, I've given over 33,000 takes. And what a lot of people don't realize is that not just the work that goes into that, but also the fact that it's a chemistry that you have, and sometimes it just stalls. And the audience lets you know that it is what it is, and you feel the need for something fresh. You feel the need to retool. And the reason why I'm unapologetic about my position is that, number one, there's no knock against him personally, his professionalism, his work ethic, and all of that other stuff, his talent. It's not like I wanted the guy to be fired or anything like that. I knew that there were landing spots for him available at this network that would generate just as much, if not more, revenue for him and all of that other stuff. And it wasn't really about asking him to be off the show. It was about the fact that I knew that we together, as far as I was concerned, was not a great partnership anymore.
Hey, honestly, I haven't watched First Take in a minute. I haven't watched First Take ESPN about shit. Excuse me. I haven't watched First Take in probably 3 months. But when I was watching it every morning, because I used to watch First Take every morning, like first thing in the morning. Even when, it was Max and Skip. I mean, when it was Stephen A and Skip, I go back that far. And I liked it, Max. Max, he was a little annoying. You know what I mean? He was a little annoying sometimes when he used to go over his analytics. And, he would contradict himself a lot. But I thought that they were a pretty good team. Like, I don't know what he's talking about. I thought they meshed pretty good. So it's going to be interesting who they're going to replace, or if they're going to replace him, or if is Stephen A. Smith going to even come back to First Take? Well, I'm sure he is, because he's like ESPN little slave. He just go over here, go over here, go over here, go over here. So he's gonna do whatever ESPN tell him to do. But I thought they had a good chemistry. This is interesting to hear.
And that was something that needed to change. And we cover the world of sports, and this is where I stand on an island all by myself in saying this, but I'm absolutely flabbergasted that people would react the way that they do in terms of stuff like this, because we covered the world of sports. Yes, Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Pete, Ebro, they're an aberration because they're returning all 22 starters and their entire coaching staff and all of that stuff. And
right.
John Madden did that as well. But when you're trying to win and win for a long period of time, you don't stand still. You know, championship squads change all the time.
True.
And so for me, I remember in 2012 where First Take was on the verge of cancellation, and Skip Bayless asked me to come on board. And I come on board, and a month later, we go #1. That 9 years ago. And we were #1 for 4 years. And then Max comes on board, and we #1 for 5 years. Well, that means I've been #1 for 9 years. It means I got a pretty good idea about what I'm doing when it comes to this show and what's necessary in order for it to work. And so for me, you know, when I first spoke to Max about stuff years ago, I said, Joe, man, we doing this more than 3 years together. It's a problem, you know, because I'm always looking to expand and move on, to diversify my portfolio and to make things happen. And you'll be hard pressed for me to say to you after 3 years, we should be together for longer than that. Let's ride this wave. Let's be #1 and we'll go from there. Well, we weren't #1 for 3 years. We extended it to 5.
What I hear you saying is that you believe change is how you keep things fresh.
Yep.
You believe that you're basically saying that no one is permanent on First Take. Whatever it takes to keep it fresh is what's going to happen.
Yes.
I can respect that. Honestly, I can respect that. You know what I mean? Like, imagine Skip and Stephen A. still being on the show like 9 years in a row. You know, I mean, I can honestly agree with that. You know what I mean? Is it harsh? I mean, you know what's coming. He said that he talked to Max, and hopefully he's not lying on that. You know, hopefully he said that he talked to Max and he was like, yo, in 3 years, if we still together, something wrong. So he let Max know, like, this is not going to be long term. We're going to do what we do. We're going to ride the wave, and then I'm going to rotate somebody else in. And if Max knew about that, he knew about it. He knew that his time was coming. So I don't see nothing wrong with this. I really don't.
So this has nothing to do with Max. This has everything to do with how you see keeping things fresh and entertaining.
Absolutely. And then not only that, it also wasn't my decision. You know, I gave my recommendation. They ask it, I tell it. Every single year when the season, you know, when the NBA season comes to an end, the bosses ask me where I stand. And for the last 3 years, I said, this is where I stood. And not only
so you've been consistent with the position that we need to evolve the program. We need a new energy for the last 3 years. But they're going to take your recommendation, right?
Well, let me say this to you. Not just that. I also told Max that.
Right. How did Max react to that?
He disagreed with me. And he disagreed with me 3 years ago. He disagreed 2 years ago. He disagreed this time.
I think Max was a good fit, honestly. I can understand where Stephen A. talking about, you know, you want to keep it fresh, you know, Molly. I'm sure Molly's not going to be there pretty long. So I hope Molly is paying attention to this, and hopefully she has something aligned, because it sounds like she might be next. But I can understand where Stephen A. coming from, and I can understand where Max coming from, because I thought Max and Stephen A. was a good combination. You know, I could have seen them doing maybe another 2 years. You know what I mean? Like maybe another 2 years and then a fresh start. You know what I mean? But I can understand where Stephen A. come from, because you do need fresh new faces. But I did like Max and Stephen A.
We've always understood where we stand with each other. And he also knew that it was nothing personal and it was nothing against him as a talent. I got a lot of respect for Max, and I genuinely like Max as a person. But I just didn't feel that, you know, moving forward, he and I together was the right call. And I said that to the bosses. They disagreed with me a few times in the past. Evidently, this time they understood and they made the move.
My friend used to pay $163.
Damn. So basically, he got him fired.
No one will ever accuse you of holding back, Stephen A. So let's keep it real. Let's keep this moving. Sure. How did you do on Jimmy Kimmel?
Well, they say I did great.
All right, so there we go, man. So we got it from the horse's mouth himself. Stephen A. Smith was brutally honest. I can respect him being honest and being straightforward. I can see it both ways. You know what I mean? I can see that, ESPN, they just need new faces, That's the business of being entertainment. You have your star player, you have Michael Jordan, then you have role players. You know what I mean? Like the Bulls didn't have the same roster every single year. They rotated people in. I can understand it in that aspect. But I didn't, Max and Stephen A was a good combination. And, it sucks. I understand kind of. But as long as if Stephen A. Smith is actually telling the truth about him telling Max, I don't have a problem with it, because as long as he was open with him, Max wasn't blindsided. You know what I mean? Max wasn't blindsided. So hopefully Max had something lined up for him, because he knew this day was coming if Stephen A. actually told him that. So I kind of respect Stephen A. Smith for, telling him this, if he actually did tell him this. But if it comes back and Max is like, nah, Stephen A. didn't tell me this, then Stephen A.'s a fuck boy. You know what I'm saying? But, we'll just have to see what Max says. So other than that, man, y'all leave a comment down below. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this situation. Do you think Stephen A. is wrong? Do you think he's right? Do you think Max and Stephen A. was a good fit? Do you think there was a bad fit? Do you think, it's good to have new rotation, new co-host? Or do you just want one co-host? Y'all let me know in the comments down below. I'm out this thing. Peace.